Hey, Tim Frisch here, bringing you another Bible review from a Frisch perspective. And in this video, I have a very unique, special Bible that I'm going to be showing you. It was sent to me from 316 Publishing. It is an LSB Handy Size Bible in black shamar goatskin, which is already beautiful, but it's also a unique edition because on the spine, it has the 5 solas of the Reformation. And I don't usually win things, but my name was actually drawn in a special drawing of different Bible reviewers, and I won the opportunity to receive this Bible and review it for you. So let's take a nice detailed look at this. First of all, it comes in this really nice 2-piece box. Very nicely made, sturdy box. And very minimalistic look. The back has 316 Publishing. The front says Steadfast Bibles. And you have the Legacy Standard Bible logo there. And so it's really a very classy look, very simple design to it. So nice box. The Bible itself is a black goatskin that we see here. And it is a full Yapp, or close to full Yapp. And my wife, when she first saw this, said she didn't really like the look of that. Some people really like a full Yapp, which is the overhang touching on the edges here. Some people don't like that, some people do. It does protect the pages. And for those of you who do like the full Yapp, I'm sure this looks really nice to you. This doesn't have any tooling on it, but it is perimeter stitched. And I think it has a really good look. Personally, I like the way that this looks. And some Bibles that I have don't have Yapp, and that's fine with me as well. But I like the way this looks. The goatskin on this is very nice. It's called shamar goatskin. Has a nice even green pattern to it, but fairly pronounced. Has a nice grip to it, which I really like. Makes it nice and easy to hold. Doesn't fall out of your hand very easily. It being a full Yapp does make it feel a little bit bigger than a Bible with no Yapp, which I will compare in a little bit to another Bible similar. But you see on the edge here, really what makes this a particularly unique edition is the 5 solas of the Reformation printed between the spine hubs. Sola Scriptura, Sola Fide, Sola Gratia, Sola Christus, Sola Deo Gloria. Now I know I'm not pronouncing that very well, but that's the basic idea there of the 5 solas of the Reformation. So if you're a Reformation fan, this is definitely a great edition. A lot of people are going to enjoy this very much. So really nice external look to this, and the page edges are very nice gold gilt page edges. And underneath the gold you do have that red under gold art gilt. And the ribbons on the top here are 3 different colors. You can see how they're tucked there. And so you have a black ribbon, gold, and red. Really nice color scheme. They are angle cut, double-sided satin ribbons. You also have a gold gilt line framing the text. It is an edge line construction. I believe that would be a leather liner inside here as well. It doesn't say on the cover what kind of leather is used, but I really like what they did here. They printed at the bottom inside here Legacy Standard Bible, and I really like that. It's not really emphasizing the leather, it's emphasizing the translation. So to me, I think that was a nice thing that they did there. So those are the external aesthetic features. When you get inside the Bible here, One thing I really love about the LSB Handy Size is the format. It is a single column, verse by verse format. Even in the prose section, you can see here you have a verse by verse format. And the verses are on the outside edge here in their own column. So it's very easy to find those verses. And yet they're not distracting at all when you're reading the text because they're in that separate column. It is printed on very nice paper with red highlights and a black biblical text. Has section headings in an italic font. And this is I believe, a 9.5 size font. The paper has good opacity, and it is also line match printing from what I can tell here. So I really love this design. I think it's really usable, really readable. It even has some margin space for writing your own notes. Very clean look to this. We'll look at the poetry here, and you can see the single column poetry looks wonderful. Of course, this being the LSB, you have the name of God transliterated as Yahweh. So you will see that throughout the Old Testament. It's one of the unique features of this Bible, is the way that they translated the name of God. So it looks here like in the Old Testament, the new books of the Bible are not on a separate page. It just continues on here. And we'll get into the New Testament. And I really do like the title pages for the Old and New Testament. They have a very nice look. Everything in this Bible to me was just designed very nicely. I like the font. It's a good size font, not a huge size. And again, it's just the biblical text here. There's no cross references, no footnotes even, but a very clean, legible format to this Bible. You can see, similar to the NASB, you do have Old Testament quotes in the New Testament in small caps. It's very easy to find where it's quoting the Old Testament. The words of Christ are black letter. So this is really a text Bible. That's what this Bible is about. It is, I believe, designed off of the Preaching Bible, which was a very large Bible put out by Steadfast Bibles, but this is a handy size, so it's not a huge Bible, not extremely large font, but to me it's good enough size font that you can teach out of this very easily. After the biblical text, you have a monetary units page here, weights and measurements, and I really like this. They also have note paper, dot matrix paper. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but there are dots on those pages so that you can write notes whatever you want to. Quite a few of these, actually. But that's what you get in the back, as well as some cardstock paper, no maps. In the front of the Bible, you do also have some cardstock here. And then there's the title page. Everything in this Bible to me just has a really nice design to it. I think all the fonts are unique and yet they fit together very nicely. Here is the copyright information. And this, I believe, is a more recent edition. They're updated section headings. I have a first edition handy size that has the different headings than this one. But the text itself hasn't been changed very much, just some corrections that were made. But this, I believe, is the latest edition. It has a foreword to the LSB, explanation of general format for this edition. Then you have the contents. And then you get into the Old Testament here. So, I mean, it's just really, honestly, very simple. And yet it's something you don't see a lot. That this format is just not something you see a whole lot of. There are Bibles out there with single column, verse by verse format. but they tend to have references. But this is just that single column verse by verse format. So beautiful Bible. Now let me compare this to that Handy Size first edition I was talking about. And you can see that the Handy Size I have, this is I think an Italian cowhide edition. It is a paste down construction as opposed to edge lined that we saw here. It has a smaller feel to it because it doesn't have that Yapp, so it just feels a little bit more of that Handy Size than the 5 Solas with the full Yapp here. Just has a little bit more of a hefty feel to it because of that overhang on the cover. So this one's a little bit more manageable. The text block in both of these though is really the same size, and the print is the same and everything. The section headings have been updated in this 5 Solas edition, whereas this is a first edition, and there have been also some corrections made to this edition, and they are available online if you want to see the corrections. Not a whole lot, but there were some minor corrections that were updated in the newest edition. The other thing I like about the paste down construction of this one that I have here, the Italian cowhide, is it does lay nice and flat. When you look at the beginning of this Bible, for example, beginning of Genesis, you'll notice that the pages do stick up a little bit. That's not bad because it is a new Bible, but in the paste down construction, it's actually going to lay a lot flatter. So let me just see if I can show you that. I think that, yeah, this lays a lot flatter right out of the box versus this one. Now this one will break in over time, and I think will lay flatter than it is right now over time. Both of them have cardstock at the beginning and end of the Bible, so they both lay pretty flat. But that is something to keep in mind with the edgeline construction. The edgeline construction, though, does allow for the cover to be nice and floppy. And that edgeline tab that you see here allows the cover to really be nicely reinforced into the text block and allow it to be sturdy and hold up over time. So very nicely constructed. One other difference between these two, and they do have some of these options in their Bibles, they have the tabs so that you can find the book of the Bible that way, or without tabs in this one, or thumb index is what they're called. So you have the thumb indexes for the books of the Bible here, and without in this 5 Solas edition that I have. So some different options there. But if you like the idea of having a full Yapp Bible with the 5 Solas on the spine in honor of the Reformation, and you want that nice, beautiful, handy size format that's really easy to carry, but a nice single column verse by verse format, beautifully printed. This is a fantastic edition that is put out by 316 Publishing Steadfast Bibles. So as you can see, the LSB Handy Size Edition is a really great option if you want a single column verse by verse format. I think it's particularly good for the purposes of preaching and teaching, as well as learning in a church or study environment where you want to be able to just have the biblical text and be able to have some space to write your own notes, or just have a clean edition of the text to teach or read from. It doesn't have any cross-references or footnotes at the bottom, but it's not really for the purpose of that kind of study. It's more for the purpose of just having the biblical text in front of you. So if that's the kind of thing that you're looking for and you want it in a portable format, it is really quite easy to hold this. This is a great edition. I'm glad we not only got to take a look at the format, which I've looked at before, but also in this particular edition with the beautiful cover and the 5 Solas on the spine. I know a lot of people were really interested in this. It is also available in a hardback edition if you prefer that, but this is an absolutely beautiful Bible that I know a lot of people are interested in. If you have any questions or comments about anything I've talked about in this video, I'd love to see that in the comments section. But thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from a fresh perspective.